Wait till you're announced.
We are in Salt Lake City, Utah, where the Jazz are looking to take one from an Eastern Conference opponent here at the Energy Solutions Arena. Wizards will kick off their road trip right here. They're down in 10th place in the East.
Well, they're hot right now, guys. I mean, they've been on a big-time roll. And coming into this game, I would say this is probably the best basketball that they've played this year.
That's what their recent games would indicate, Steve. I mean, they've been basically invincible. It's really been a showcase of just how dominant this team can be when they're clicking on all cylinders.
We got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So on the floor for Washington, Wall and Beal together in the backcourt. Nene down low with Gortat. And it's Pierce in at the 3 spot. So the Utah Jazz able to put the first points up on the board. Outside, Wall. Gortat with the screen for Wall. Nene dishes to Gortat. Pass to Wall. 5 to shoot. Shoots from 14. Buries the jump shot.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Now here's Burke. 17 points for him last game against Charlotte.
He got some huge points from the foul line, too, Kevin. He was very aggressive, generating contact and drawing fouls.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy.
Well, the Utah Jazz enjoy what has long been considered one of the best home court advantages in the NBA here at Energy Solutions Arena. You combine the altitude with these rowdy fans, tough place to get a road win.
Beal's shot is good.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Down low, Cantor, and he slams it one-handed. None of the defenders wanted anything Clark to do with him on that chance.
And I do not blame him at all, partner. He was coming in with a bunch of steam and was ready to posterize whoever decided to get in his way.
All right, I understand, fellas, but come on. You've got to challenge him a little bit at least. It's going to be tough for the defense today. If he's got his A-game rolling here tonight, we'll see.
Burke kicks to Anthony. Launches it. That's good. Anthony's got 7.
4 straight makes out of the gate. That's a sweet start.
So for the Wizards, their last game a win against the Trailblazers.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be much of a challenge for them in that game. It seemed like they scored at will. Not much defense that they were facing.
Yep, they had the defense on its heels early the entire game, and actually nearly the entire game, and no matter what unit was out there, looked like a mismatch to me. 4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
Burke, the pass to Anthony. That one falls coming off Burke's feet. 9 points for money.
He has not missed yet. 4 for 4 in this first quarter.
Setting himself up to be their go-to guy today.
Outside, Pierce. Nene with the screen on Hayward. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
Yeah, good call there. You could tell he was moving into the defender when he tried to set the screen.
Yeah, lowered that shoulder, dipped right into him, too. I mean, he was going to be called on that foul either way.
Utah leading by 3. Burke dishes to Anthony. No one near him. Burke can't get it to go.
Boy, we don't see that too often. No defender on him, and he just lights the open jumper. Nene, I think, an underrated defensive player. Not a big shot blocker, but he has tremendous size and strength, and he can move laterally. So he can really move and cover the pick and roll and switch on to guards. An effective defender.
Favors, and terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2. Favors has got his first 2 points of the night. Wizards trail by 3. Outside, Wall. Left side, Pierce. 14 feet away, and Washington again with the bucket.
And Nene, for his size and agility, at times somewhat disappointing in terms of rebounding the ball. Throughout his career, actually, his rebound rate has fallen steadily over the last 3 years. Maybe injuries a factor in that, but they do need more from him on the glass. They're in the position they're in right now, thanks in no small part to the show that he's putting on in this period.
So Utah ends up going with the new group. And a new group getting... Jazz shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. You talk about the subtle decline for Nene. His scoring efficiency, Steve, also taking a turn for the worse over the last couple seasons.
Yeah, still in his early 30s. You know, age shouldn't be that big a factor for a big man, but I guess it's the accumulation of all those injuries, including his knee sprain last season, that may be taking their toll.
Taking a look at the Wizards. Pierce and Nene filling up the forward spots. Miller is out there with Bradley Beal. And it's Gortat in at the center position. Miller against Anthony, and it's Miller penetrating. Here's Beal. Solid shot from the distance of about 14 feet. Beal's got his second bucket of the night.
The mid-range jumper becomes a pretty high percentage shot for him when he has that kind of space.
To the middle. That's good from Paul Pierce on the assist from Beal.
There it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, getting the ball into the post should be their first option every time down. Force the defense to adapt and adjust.
Now, here's Exum. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. And it's Anthony again missing. Wizards have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. And Beal kicks to Nene.
Nene, a 6'11" Brazilian big man, strong and quick-footed with a nice touch. He's a quality two-way player. And for him, as it is the case with a lot of players, it's about health. You know, over the course of his 12-year career, he's missed almost a third of available games due to injury.
And Utah making a change here. Burks has checked in. We talk about Nene's troubles at times staying on the court, Steve. Some say he's unwilling to play through pain.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's the case. You know, all I know is that when he's healthy, he is one of the most effective big men in the NBA, and he had a terrific run in the playoffs last year, particularly in that Chicago series.
So it's Washington now after the basket by Utah. And Pierce, here we go. Second chance shot, and he gets it to go.
If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow, just like he got there.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for Washington.
Boy, they've come out of that locker room with the hot hand. Those jumpers have been falling for them.
And they're also...
Man, get off him.
Not worth it, man. Let it go.
Nah, man, that was a cheap shot. He wasn't even going for the ball, let alone looking at it.
We need you, man. You retaliate, you're the one they'll run. Chill.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
One more time and you're done. You heard me?
And he came in to let the other side know that that would not be tolerated at all. But he managed to keep his cool, which I thought was a positive, and stay in the game.
You know, Kevin, oftentimes things like that can lead to multiple ejections, but he managed to keep his cool about it, and now we can actually get back to playing basketball.
That's some more rugged play from them inside. They have a decent edge in rebounds thus far.
And that hard work on the boards needs to continue. That could be what swings this game eventually.
Nene setting the pick for Miller. Back to Pierce. 6 on the shot clock. Teardrop shot. Utah with the rebound. Cantor's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight.
He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys, but as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much. Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Beal with a screen for Miller. Back to Pierce. From deep. And that one's good. Pierce has got 7 points.
Oh, he's going to keep banging those home if you give him that much space.
The Jazz making a switch here. Burks is checked in. The Wizards also changing it up. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter.
Bradley, it certainly seemed to be a...
Okay, guys, let's focus and get down to business. Now, here's a few things I took away from the first half. Firstly, our offensive output in the paint was really encouraging. But that being said, let's make sure we don't get too one-dimensional in the second half. I want us getting points from the inside and out. I do like that we limited our turnovers. We weren't careless with the ball or making unforced errors. So kudos for that. And let's...
Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far.
Well, a good one here for Anthony. He's got 11 points and from long range, hit 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you'd expect by the end of this game, I'm sure the numbers are going to look even better.
Here's Burke. Favors plays the 4 with Cantor at the 5. Anthony is out there with Burke, and it's Hayward in at the 3 slot. That's the group right now for Utah. Good on the shot. For the Utah Jazz, they won their last contest, that game against Charlotte.
And it was so important for their bench to come in and play well in that game. I thought that was critical to the victory.
Well, they got contributions up and down the roster, and that's what you need. Everybody who stepped on the floor contributed. Back-to-back threes for them. The defense is slacking off a little.
It does look like their energy is lacking at this point. Paul Pierce, at one time a franchise talent and elite two-way player, now a self-described role player. He's a heck of a good one, too. A great scorer, can shoot, drive, and get to the line.
Shot clock at 6. Now here's Burke, covered by Wall. Offensive rebound. Got a piece of it.
Yeah, he's surprised he didn't make that one because he had a pretty clean look at the hoop.
Here's Pierce. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
Paul Pierce, a 16-year veteran, and last season his first not in a Celtics uniform. It took some getting used to, both for him and for us.
Well, you just had to love the reception for Pierce and KG in their first game back in Boston. No surprise there. The fans there, some of the best in the league, and they showered those guys with tremendous love, cheers, and appreciation. Well-deserved for what they've contributed as Celtics and certainly as NBAers. Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with Doris Burke. Hey, Doris.
Well, guys, Quinn Snyder this season taking over as head coach of the Utah Jazz. Snyder said the fit is terrific. He loves player development. Certainly a nice compliment to this young roster. Snyder's road in the coaching ranks has been a winding one, but he said the adversity he's faced has made him a better coach and a better person. Gentlemen,
his time has come, Doris. All the makings of a great coach. Thank you. And Steve, no less than the great Celtic John Havlicek dubbing Paul Pierce as the greatest one-on-one scorer in Celtics history.
Yeah, the 10th overall pick back in 1998. What a find. I mean, you could argue that he and Dirk Nowitzki were the 2 best players drafted that night.
And now, here are a set of teams that have held their opponents to very few points in the second half of the season. The Jazz, number 1.
Yeah, I think the coaches really challenged this club at the break to improve their defense, and that's exactly what they've done.
And the Wizards making a change here. Miller's checked in. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more. The Jazz shooting their 5th attempt at the line in the game. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. Now here's Wall. He's got 10. Nene with the screen on Hayward. Pierce with it. Favors picks him up. 6 to shoot. From outside the arc. Rebounded by the Jazz. They are